Well, hello all you wonderful people out there in YouTube land. If you saw yesterday's video, then you know I was able to attend the Greater Houston Train Show in Stafford, Texas last weekend. It was a great show. As you can tell by the video, there was a few model railroads running. There was a few clubs there. It was a great show. I didn't get any footage or anything of the vendor tables because, I mean, it was mostly just a bunch of mom and pop vendors. It wasn't any like actual manufacturers or major hobby suppliers. You know, I'm not saying those people aren't worth talking to, but they're generally the type of people that are not used to having a camera shoved in their face. So I said the heck with doing any on-camera interviews with those people. Cannot go to a train show. I mean, you might be able to, I can't go to a train show and not buy something. So here we have two wonderful little orange boxes of happiness. And this one was a purchase for the wife. That one is kind of an odd purchase for me, but because it is a traditional O-gauge type car, an 027 type car, but it is something that's been on my list for a while. So we'll start out with the one for the wife. Here we have the Lionel 2014 Christmas Boxcar. Now, as I've said before, if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you know that my wife likes the Christmas trains. That's pretty much the extent of her involvement in the hobby, is the Christmas trains. So, full disclosure, this thing is in the incorrect box. It is in the 1989 Christmas car box, but you know, no big deal. This is a traditional 027 type box car. It's got the green roof and ends. This is not a scale car. This is an 027 traditional O-gauge box car. I apologize about the lighting. This is the best I can do right now. Mostly white car body with a very cool graphic of a steam locomotive punching through the, I guess it'd be like the Polar Express punching through an awesome looking winterscape. Red door with the 2014, you can see right there above my thumb. Door opens and closes. Handbrake wheel is separately applied. The ladder detailing, if you can see it there, and the handbrake step and the chain and all that is cast on detailing. This does have sprung trucks, sprung die-cast metal trucks with frictionless bearings, and the thumbtack style magnetic Lionel couplers that operate. So you can close them manually or couple up. You can use the operating track or uncoupling track, depending on which track system you're using, to uncouple this car from a train or vice versa. Or you can do it manually by means of, trying to get the angle right, sorry about that. This little tab here on the side of the coupler, pull down on it and the coupler pops open. Pretty cool little car. Wife was pretty happy about it. So we'll put this guy back and then we will show you what I got for myself. Okay, now this is the item that I was really excited about when I found it. It was pretty slim pickings for me. There was not much in the way of scale O-gauge trains. There was very little in the way of O-scale trains. There was plenty of post-war and a few tin plate offerings and some modern like O-gauge, this type of stuff. But there wasn't a whole lot of scale items available, and the things that were available in the more scale side of the house were, aside from a Santa Fe extended vision caboose, like transition steam era stuff, and I'm trying to, for the most part, just focus on modern era when it comes to the scale stuff. But This was admittedly a little bit of an odd purchase for me. This is a traditional 027 type item. This is not a scale item, or it's not even a semi-scale item. This is very much the emphasis of what Lionel Trains is known for. 027 toy trains. This is from the 2006 catalog. It is a hot box reefer. It's an operating hot box reefer. It lettered for the Pacific Fruit Express with the Southern Pacific and Union Pacific logos on there. And I'll pull it out here in just a second and let y'all get a little bit better look at it. Alright folks, here it is. As you can tell, the lettering and the graphics and everything on this car are great. The ladders and the hand railings and everything on this car are cast on detailing. There is not a whole lot in of anything at all aside from the handbrake wheel in the way of add-on details. The doors do not work. They do not open. Lettering is good though. Lettering is nice and crisp. It has the thumbtack style, as I call them, Lionel Couplers, same as the Christmas Boxcar. The trucks are sprung, if you can see it at all. Or no, they're not sprung. Unsprung solid die-cast trucks and a metal frame. Now, on the frame, if you can see it, and I hope you can, yes you can. So you have a smoke on-off switch here. You have a general on-off switch here. And you have a sound on-off switch here. So with this switch you can turn the car on or off completely. This one you can have the car run and cut the sound, and this one you can have the car running with the sound but cut the smoke. So what does this car do? Well, it simulates an overheated wheel bearing or overheated axle. How does it do it? It draws power from the track first of all with these pickup rollers, okay? The same manner as which a locomotive or a passenger car with interior illumination does. Furthermore, there's a little LED right here just inside the truck that flickers. It's a red LED that flickers to simulate sparks and fire effect. Alright? So as the car is rolling down the track, there is crew dialogue that plays, and eventually, after a little bit, you start getting a squeaking noise simulating the overheating bearing, and then that LED starts flickering, casting a red light down on the track to simulate sparks and fire and things such of that nature. And then when it reaches, we'll say, critical mass, the car starts smoking, the squealing becomes almost continuous, and when you stop the train, it goes into a sequence where it simulates the sound effects simulate a fire, and the crew battling that fire to put it out. The way you load smoke into this car for the smoke fluid, this roof hatch here on the A end of the car, not the B end, the A end, there is a hatch that opens. And of course, Murphy's Law with trying to do something on camera and just trying to do it normal is in full effect here. It opens up and there is the smoke unit, if you can see it right there. You pour the smoke fluid directly into this little hole here. If you're running it for the first time, the instructions say 10 to 15 drops. If it's not the first time you've run it and it's ran recently, top it off only 5 to 10 drops, somewhere in there. If you haven't run it if you have this car and you have not run it in an extended period of time, we're talking months and or years, then just treat it like a brand new car and do the 10 to 15 drops just for good measure. There will be a proper run video of this thing on a train, on a layout tomorrow. As a matter of fact, this is being filmed the day after the show. I did film a unboxing run video at the show on the Houston 10 plate Operator Society modular layout we were displaying there. You'll see that tomorrow, but for the purposes of this product review, I'm going to put down a small loop of track and put power to it, and I will push this thing around the track so you can see the effects and get the full sounds a lot better than the run video will show you. Alright, so we got the track set up, and before we get moving, I am going to demonstrate, not to insult anyone's intelligence, but demonstrate just how you load this thing up. So first you open the hatch like such. Smoke fluid right here. Since this was run yesterday, I'm only going to put like 5 drops in here. So 1, should be more than plenty. Close up the hatch, set the smoke fluid aside, and then we'll plug in the track and get this thing running. As you can see, I am using one of my son's locomotives for this with the sound system turned off, so you only get the sound from the reefer.
When we get there. All clear from the cupola.